Alright guys, welcome back to Wild Outdoor Living. So today we're going to talk about the 2020 Trek Fuel EX 9.8. This is my new full suspension bike. I sold the Remedy in order to get this, and I'll also be selling the Stache, and this will be my one trail bike to just do it all. So the main reason I went to this is I really like the Remedy, really like the way it handled, but there was a lot of times on flatter terrain or just longer pedals that I felt like I wanted to be on my Stache. But then when I was on my Stache, I really felt like I wanted to be on a full suspension. I also wanted to be able to do long, pedally flat stuff with really gnarly stuff mixed in between. Just big rides with awesome trails mixed in there. And neither bike really felt up to the task in terms of comfort. The Remedy was really close, but I realized that I could actually reduce the number of bikes I had, and so I grabbed the Fuel EX. The Fuel EX has 29-inch wheels, 140 front, 130 rear, 66-degree head tube angle, with the option to go to a 150 fork in the front and drop to 65.5. It has a higher stack than the Remedy and longer reach. It also has lower standover, so it's the most modern bike Trek makes. And the nice thing about this is in the seated position, it's a lot more comfortable. With the dropper down, the bikes are really close. They actually feel really similar. In fact, I'd say if you don't do the really big jumps and drops, but you want a 29-inch Remedy, basically a bike that feels like the Remedy in terms of character and kind of attitude, this new Fuel EX is really close. Really reminds me a lot of that bike. But in the seated position, it's a lot more comfortable. It feels a lot more like the Stache. I feel like I can sit on the bike for a lot longer period of time and feel a lot better about it. It's also, in general, just more efficient. Whether that comes down to the carbon frame or just the 29-inch wheels, it's hard to say at the moment, but it is a lot more comfortable to just sit and pedal on more boring terrain, basically. So this is my first carbon mountain bike, and I have to say there is a feel difference. The bike is pretty stiff and precise. I have two wheel sets for it, so I have the carbon wheel set that came stock. I run Maxxis Aggressors on that. It's kind of a cross-country / trail setup. Then I run a double down Maxxis Assegai in the front and a DH casing DHRII in the rear on aluminum rims for my kind of burlier trail rides. And really most of my higher alpine trail rides, I'll use those wheels and tires just for durability and added grip. And so it's really nice to be able to switch between the two and have kind of efficiency for those longer, gentler days, but still have all the control that I had with the Remedy. And so far, I'm noticing that they're really close. The brakes that come stock on this are way better than the guides that came on the Remedy. So I already have better brakes on it, which is nice. The head tube angle is close, not quite as much suspension, but for me, I do smaller drops. I mostly like to do steep, techie stuff, and in that situation, it's really close. I am going to add a bigger volume spacer to the rear shock to try to get some more progression because I am using a lot of travel there. And I still need to test out really all the components, come back to you guys with a longer term review. But so far, bike's feeling really nimble, stable, responsive, comfortable to pedal, and just overall, really good bike if you're just wanting one bike. So we'll come back with a longer term review, but so far, I'm pretty impressed. Down tube storage is a really cool idea. The hole is pretty small, and the tool roll does not fit a mountain bike tube by any means. It really definitely feels like it was more designed for the road bikes. But it's nice to have it there. It's definitely better than not having it, and it does give you access to your cables when you go to reroute those. So that's definitely added bonus. It gives you full access to the down tube. So it's a little harder to get things in and out. You're probably not going to want to put everything in there, but there's a lot of extra space for a jacket, snacks, a few tools, maybe a tube if you roll it correctly. So really cool feature. I'm glad they have that. 170 mil dropper post as well, and even with my short legs, it fits. In fact, I maybe could run the 175 from Fox if I wanted to, but this new dropper post from Trek, I will say, is their smoothest yet by far. In fact, I'd say it's maybe smoother than a Fox Transfer. It is slower than a lot of dropper posts, so that's maybe a con. We'll see how it lasts, long-term reliability. But until then, we'll catch you next time.